Hello, everyone. This is Nate McGaha, and I'm the Executive Director of Arts North Carolina. And this is a brief video to go over the arts priorities for 2026 legislative agenda for the arts here in North Carolina. So there will be at Arts Day an 8-page printed leave behind. This is designed not only for your own use to kind of walk you through the legislative meetings that will happen on Arts Day, but also to be left behind at the legislator's office. This will be a valuable tool in your advocacy, but remember that you want to bring your own stories as well. The first page is going to be an overview of all the legislative priorities that we have for this year. And I'm going to walk through all of these page by page. But this really gives the legislator a nice snapshot of all the things that the arts are asking for in this short legislative session. Our first ask is going to be that the Senate pass Senate Bill 849, which is the Real Tickets, Real Fans Act. There's a lot of dishonest ticket resale practices, and this bill really targets that. You can see that there's a lot of laying out of exactly what the problem is. Many of us are aware of this for concerts, for buying tickets, and these folks that are posing as the official seller, charging ridiculously high prices, sometimes selling fake or duplicate tickets. And this is just damaging the reputation of artists and venues alike. This bill would require those ticket resellers to be transparent, ban all the deceitful language and images that they use to trick buyers, require sellers to provide web links to the venue where the original tickets can be purchased, and ban all speculative ticket sales, which is selling something you don't even own, as well as curbing the use of bots. Also on the agenda, and this is from our last legislative session as well, is a requirement for all elementary school students in public school to have both visual and performing art, usually visual art and music, in elementary school. Right now, 1 in 20 North Carolina elementary school students don't have instruction in both music and visual arts. Even though back in 2018, funding was provided for more than 3,800 teachers specifically for the arts and physical education. So we really want them to spend that funding on the way it was intended. We know, and there's some really important facts there about improved reading, math, and science performance for fourth and fifth graders that we've seen. Also better interpersonal skills, less anxiety, and really, improved empathy and more. And kids that have the arts have higher educational ambitions, right? So this actually exists right now. The language that we want exists right now in the version of the state budget that passed last year in 2025. So we are hopeful that we're going to get a state budget in this year, and we just really want that language that's in the House budget to stay there, so that we can make sure that our elementary schools kids in North Carolina are getting the arts instruction that they so richly deserve. Also, remember to bring your own stories about the arts and education in your community. Obviously, we have had since 2023 a problem with our grassroots program. In the tier three counties, those are the counties that are the most economically stable. Those tier three counties, 20 tier three counties, those that have populations over 250,000 don't receive their share or any share of the total grassroots arts program, or 40% of the total of the grassroots arts program allocation. So this has had devastating results. New Hanover County is about to lose 74,000 in funding as compared to last year. Johnson and Cabarrus lost over $70,000 each, and this was just because their populations crested over 250,000. Union counties and 4 other counties were excluded, but all the way going back to 2023. So we have the best network of local arts councils in the country. We have more per square mile. We have more per capita than any other state. This provides rural arts access that is unparalleled in the country. That also gives us fast statewide response when we need it, particularly in emergencies like during Hurricane Helene and COVID. So we're asking legislators to find a stable program that's not going to fluctuate so much. And certainly, if they want to know more about that, send them on to me me, Nate at artsnc.org. And I'd be more than happy to have a more detailed conversation with them about how we stabilize that. Certainly the easiest way is just to get rid of the restriction altogether. So we're happy to have that conversation. Also, there's a real opportunity here for A plus schools. Just as we've seen in years past, a private foundation has put up $500,000 to match $500,000 in spending by the North Carolina General Assembly. And we want to see $500,000 of recurring funding go into A plus schools of North Carolina. A plus schools is it has 60 plus schools in its purview that are full school, full whole school transformation, moving into an arts integration teaching model for all the subjects. And this has had wonderful results, increased proficiency across grade level performance, as well as much better teacher retention. So we're just really hoping that when they hopefully have a state budget, that we're going to see this $500,000 in, so we can also secure the $500,000 match that would go to support A plus schools as well. Now, of course, we definitely know that the Western North Carolina, particularly in those areas that are hardest hit by Hurricane Helene way back in 2024, they are still struggling, and there are still being proposals and that are being discussed at the North Carolina General Assembly. And we want to make sure that as they are looking for solutions for the North Carolina General Assembly to help Western North Carolina, that they are keeping creative businesses and creative nonprofits in mind, because they often get excluded from different programs, put into different buckets. Also, just remembering that these industries are key and their infrastructure was really hurt. So some targeted investment in areas like craft and music, where that infrastructure was really set aside, and to think about the broader Western North Carolina, or just the broader arts, as part of tourism, part of regional economic growth, part of downtown revitalization, that these are not separate buckets, that this is all really the same model. And lastly, we really need just more funding for arts organizations. While we have seen some significant gains in the grassroots programs, which does go to arts councils and other organizations across the state, and many of those re-grant out to other organizations in their area, we have not seen general grants go up in over 15 years, even though it serves 96 counties, artists and arts organizations in 96 counties. It's open to all 100. And so as these costs have gone up, I mean, I think we all know that costs have gone up in the last 15 years, that the dollars just go less and less far. Right now, there is $10 million of needed to fully fund the all the applicants that have come into the North Carolina Arts Council, and there's $4 million available from the state. So there's that $6 million funding gap. I will say that, this is a very tight budget year. There's a lot of debate going on with spending. We're not likely to see an increase in this spending. However, we need to continue to make this case. And you can see the chart there comparing us to other states in the region. We are below the regional average. We are behind Alabama. We are getting half as much per capita as South Carolina, and a third as much per capita for our Arts Council as Mississippi. And this really just can't stand. So please make sure that you're talking to your legislator about that. And of course, it wouldn't be Arts Day without some great economic data on the impact of the arts. You can see there at the top, the box to the right, that's the entire arts and culture industry, with data coming from the Bureau of Economic Analysis back in 2023. It is 3.18% of the state's GDP. That's bigger than transportation. That's bigger than utilities. And it's supporting 167 plus thousand jobs across the state. And then when we look at just a closer snapshot of the economic impact of the nonprofits, that's 2.2 billion plus about 38,000 jobs as well. So we are an industry, and you can also see, and this is from that nonprofit arts patron data down that you see at the bottom. Local patrons are spending $34 above the cost of the event on food and hotel or food and other souvenirs. Non-local are spending twice that, up to $61. And those from out of state are spending three times that. And we know that one in three patrons to an arts event in any given county are coming from outside the county, or coming from outside the area. So we are a real economic driver. The arts do mean business, and we definitely mean jobs as well for North Carolina. So thank you for having these conversations with your elected officials. Thank you for watching this brief video, and I look forward to seeing you all on Arts Day. Thanks so much, and have a great day.